Leader, a few days ago, the Minister for Foreign Affairs and Defence, Oireachtas, Micheál Martin, said those serving in the Defence Forces must be held to a higher standard because they are part of a force that is meant to protect society. That statement was backed up by Lieutenant General Clancy, which is, I'm sorry to say, I would have felt he should have spoken up for the honourable people in the Defence Forces rather than the people that were dishonourable. Cathy Sheridan had a go at myself and my colleague Cathal Berry in the Times today for our defence of the Defence Forces. Again, outlining zero tolerance within the Defence Forces. So are we to have two different sets of standards? For example, in the prison service, where a senior prison manager called a female colleague into his office, undressed himself and asked her to perform oral sex on her, and she gets a compensation of 100,000, and what happens to him? He gets transferred. What about the psychiatrist in Cams who sexually assaulted his 16-year-old client?
Sorry, Senator, could I just ask that...
These are reported items. Sorry.
I'm not trying to stop you, I'm trying to help you. Okay. Just in case this is before the courts.
No, sir.
Okay, just be careful with what you're saying, that's all I'm saying. Thank you.
These are
identifying individuals who are not here to this.
I won't name anybody, I assure you. I mean, the bottom line on it is...
Even referring to them leads to...
We have allegations of sexual harassment and abuse in the ambulance service. So where do we strike the zero tolerance? My belief is zero tolerance should be in every organisation in the country, and we should not tolerate any of that sort of behaviour. But we cannot now single out the Defence Forces because they happen to be the whipping boys this week. Let's go to the entire public service. The Defence Forces have been put under more scrutiny than any other organisation in this country. I wonder how the prison service would fare out. I have sufficient stuff on my desk, complaints of bullying and harassment in the prison service. I have contacted the Minister on it, and I have written to a prison governor about the horrendous treatment rained down on one of his staff. It's simply not good enough to start trying to set two sets of standards, one for the Defence Forces and one for everybody else. If you're working in this country, public service, private sector, I don't care if you're in uniform or not in uniform, there should be a standard of decent behaviour that we should all aspire to have, and those who see something going wrong should speak out at the time and put a stop to it.
Senator Craughwell has raised again the issue today of the Defence Forces and the ongoing commentary and criticism of the organisation. I have previously supported the Senator on his comments in relation to, I do think there's a lot of criticism of the Defence Forces without due acknowledgement of the many exemplary and decent serving members, men and women of that organisation, and also former serving members, notwithstanding the terrible situation in relation to the Crotty case and others as well, which I know are being dealt with, and there's a lot of sensitivities around that. But it is important to acknowledge that there are many fine and decent serving members and former serving members that are finding this equally a very distressing time for their organisation and the Defence Forces where they serve, and take their job very seriously. And he asked the question, about a zero tolerance approach. Where does it apply? It applies to all levels of society, at all organisations, when it comes to violence against women.